call this special press conference to order. Media. I now officially call this press conference to order, and I start by calling on the presence of God Almighty, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, by inviting the Chief Imam to lead us in Muslim prayer. Quickly. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah, salatu wassalam ala alayhi wa sallam ila yawmuddin. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن الكريم واعتصموا بعبد الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we gather here to the Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala, make we start now with goodness. Let Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring we all together. The difference is where we all get Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we put them aside and we come together. If we come together, any battle show the effect to the winner. If we not come together, there's a problem. That's what I bring we all together. The discussion we discussed today, that's what I make it benefit to all and the party at large. That's what I make the next election when they come, this election when they come, that's what I make win the election. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala push Shaitan away from me. The difference is that's what I make we all come together. When we come together, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala massively upon we. So that we will win this battle here. The enemies, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala push them far from we. You are the way you have problems with me, that's what I bring them all together. That's what I we all come together so that we will win this battle here. That's what I'm sorry for we all. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض. من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم وليسون بشيء من علمه إلا بمن شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يخطه حفظهما ولا العظيم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عنا. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. إنك أنت السميع القريب مجيب دعوة رب العالمين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة. Thank you very much. I will now call on with chaplain or any representative from that sector. If not, I will borrow the leader, the man of God, the leader of the House of Parliament, for leading in peace and prayer. Oh, then they pray back when they make noise. Believe God. Not block this place. In Jesus' name I pray. Father, we commit this meeting that you have. We pray that it will go the way we want it to go. And we pray, say, in particular, that will be enlightened based on meeting the hierarchy of the party they can discuss with the general membership. Apart we commit the executive of this party in your hand. We pray that you guide, protect them, and endow them with wisdom so that they will take quality decision we will make with those State House 2028. We cover with membership in your hand. We pray that you will give them courage, you will give them patience, and you will give them endurance. No for tire for them with the party until we come back to government. We tell you for everybody in what way they will play at the party.
And we pray that anybody really undermine this party, we will always expose them. Thank you in Jesus' name I pray.
Thank you very much. We are always sit down. We get for patience. This is a press conference for that we can educate the public and the membership as to who side we do, we start until then. But then while I wait to map so the journalists there now they can cover this press conference. We get for patient there because that way they do. Now the only way they will able to cover well. So we will sit down. All we need for do now for listen. We go hearing what the speaker and they say. So that we go allow the journalists them to make them able to cover the press conference very well. Thank you very much. Having said that, we get plenty speaker them for talk to me today. So we are sat inside and they will get for court. We get plenty dignitaries them now, and we all important. I'm not able to go through as the program they go. I'm going to introduce people that way there. I'm going to present them to me. But we really want to make sure say the message go down well today. So because of that one day, I get for go straight to the speakers then for make them begin for talk to me. So that we all know we'll get bored before we get to the main event we will be here for. With that, I will now call on the National Secretary General. We will come talk to me and we probably, go just tell me overall briefly who's how we did, waiting on the happen. Thank you very much.
As long as one APC person, they don't pass one and two, we get what we can do. But una, we're not to APC, waiting say, you know, I'm going to participate. It is okay, you don't go participate. But once we're APC, we don't meet up, and one woman, you don't pass 1, 2, 3 APC, it's difficult for them to say, oh, why? Oh, why? Oh, say. Oh, why? Oh, say. APC. It's like they say, you look like the one that will not APC, but who can APC. APC. Take the power now. As the National Publicity Secretary said, this program is a well-packed program. I don't want to go immediately into the tripartite. I get a lot to talk about the tripartite. If I begin to talk about the tripartite, the temperature can rise so much I can talk something the way where people can say, energy, not so, but we are not listening. So I will just give you a briefly what did not happen this past few days. Yesterday, led by the National Acting Chairman, when Ambassador Alhaji Dr. Usman Poli and Saleh, we go PPRC, then call me for that talk where the SLPP chairman will talk about the military and the police then for 2028. You remember that, not so? Where President said, put your statement out. So they called me yesterday. Me, him, Tunis, and Africanos, so this is the legal advisor. We go there, and we don't address the issue. Some of them see that in time for me, they don't say yes, we said determined. And we don't sign an agreement yesterday, say, none of we not going to make next time about statements again. We don't hope say they keep by the agreement. Because when they force to begin talk. And when we go yesterday, they're going to give small people. They play tunes in film, where they have station. They play AKK in film. They play Mikaelu Kuruma in film. We're going to film and we talk about. That's what they play. Then three. And then three they play for me. The way it comes for SLDP, they play one green number. wey na the publicity sector. Wey dey not done as I say, but we not put that statement, that one wey this man dey go. But all said and done, this na for make una know say the party dey work. Tomorrow we dey go na PPRC back like how we go yesterday. Tomorrow we dey go there for Alhaji Samsumana in case we put for the party. We all know so. We dey go there. I no go talk that yet, but we dey go na PPRC. We go there with all clean hands. We put we case with all clean hands, and we dey go there to go collect whatever PPRC get for with all clean hands. When we come, we can't sit down at the party. We move forward, but we don't allow anything for the railway. And next week, we dey go for them one day when we send them petitions there. That na them 9 people there. Some of them don't already go to PPRC, don't say they don't left handle. They agree to waiting APC put. That responsible put. You remember the responsible put, so they don't do so. Some of them don't go tell the commission, say, we agree, we don't carry on with this anymore. But you get 2-3 of them where they don't send the response. So that one they will get on it next week. If I get to this point, I just want to know say these are the developments. We will go, the lower level convention will begin as soon as possible. When we come out tomorrow at PPRC, we will begin know the dates them immediately. But I can show and say, come rain, come shine. Elect waiting them do. They want the way they say they don't want let the party go convention. We must go convention. Man, we go convention. And my God in power will begin the lower level convention as soon as possible. If I get to this point, people that know where I'm talking about the tripartite, need to give some summary. So I will stay put for now. And the statement where we want to pay attention for listening to, let we pay attention for listening to the acting chairman's statement. We don't say the chairman on day, let God be a medicine. We shall say sooner rather than later, we can't join him. But let we pay attention for listening to the statement. Then. Thanks for the very much.
Thank you very much, NSG. As the NSG right this stage, with the diary from the acting chairman. But before we acting chairman talk, I just want to take this opportunity for welcome and recognize the presence of the dignitaries who get here. We get people who they aspire for leading party. They are among we. We get lawyer Adi Macaulay today with me. We get lawyer Joseph Itzbira Kamara, who will be hearing from later on. Recently with me. I see we former leader in the House of Parliament, Honorable John Ramadan Majuba, today with me. Lawyer Jerry Tuko, I believe we will be hearing from him later on. We'll get Dr. Davis, I believe. We get Dr. Pifala Mara, of course. I won't call the name, I know we start categories. But yes, they are with me. Like I say, as we go, I'm going to recognize and introduce people, the party structure there. At all levels, from constituency level, ward level, district level, regional level, national level, but I will call you, we get honorable members of parliament and here, we get councillors, former and present, we all there. But for now, let me hear it first from the acting national chairman, Alhaji Usman Kode Yansane, for making our address. Thank you very much. A, B, B, APC, APC, APC. Let God help us all. Today, a special press conference. We intend to inform the public
about the state of affairs as it concerns one with apartheid, where we signed with 80 recommendations, and how far we don't go, starting from October 2023 to now. We hold people away as experts in various fields, the law, in politics, elections, census or statistics. They will not tell now how far we don't get. Because these things are prerequisites for get to party on an even field or challenge them people there. This uncaring government for food and power. Yesterday, we tell the SLPP. For say, we have always taken a specific move to inform the public about what they happen. Not ever use wrong words. Tell we say to people them, that them start this thing. Like the general say, we will write a very serious letter of complaint. What we say, at the end of the day, actions the whole expect. If somebody say we will use social team, whatever it calls. If somebody say we will use the president, the army, to ensure say APC not get power, we will action not for the Pacific. We're not going to go say 3 a.m. and now we. This is why we have our job special. And what did they say? Now for give notice to the SLPP. For PPRC, the regulatory body, they understand. On the basis of that, they approach us in a pacific manner, where mistakes have been made, we are now moving ahead. On that note, we have agreed. We did talk to people there, but we know they deride them. APC not ever can flower. APC always want peace. They say we know one. As I say, we know the peace accord will bring peace to this country. We are signatories to it. For no one peace, come to peace. And 10 years, APC stand strong for bringing peace to this country and development. Peace and development, they go together. But the statement where I want to make, before we expand them now, I want to read that with permission in English, so that it will be a record. Who they will ever forget. So, fellow citizens, distinguished members of the press, APC dignitaries, friends of democracy, and our international partners, they normally don't come, but they will send people in Bukali to for them. And we don't contact them with the content of what the people of the country. We stand at a defining moment in our nation's democratic journey. The agreement for national unity and the Tripartite Committee's recommendations were born out of a painful chapter, a time when the Leoneans demanded fairness, transparency, and accountability in our elections. The All People's Congress entered that agreement in good faith, motivated by a desire to rescue our democracy from mistrust and to restore the confidence of our people in their electoral system. It was never about political convenience. It was about national survival and the sacred duty of leadership to uphold justice. However, as we observe the ongoing implementation process, it is increasingly clear that the spirit and intent of the agreement are being undermined by a unilateral approach from the government. Instead of a collaborative, transparent process that reflects the joint ownership of both parties and the matter of guarantors, we are witnessing selective interpretation, selective consultation, and selective implementation. The agreement for national unity was meant to heal our nation, to serve as a bridge between two political entities for the good of all Sierra Leoneans. It called for equal partnership, mutual respect, and genuine commitment to reform. The tripartite committee's recommendations, carefully developed through months of painstaking deliberations, were meant to guide the transformation of our electoral system. From one marred by controversy and distrust to one that guarantees fairness and integrity. Yet, today, those very recommendations risk being reduced to mere rhetoric, with implementation decisions often taken without adequate consultation or transparency. Our position as the All People's Congress is firm. The implementation process must reflect the same spirit of inclusiveness and accountability that inspired the Agreement for National Unity itself. Every step, from reviewing the electoral laws and restructuring the Electoral Commission to instituting oversight mechanisms, must be done jointly, transparently, and with full respect for the tripartite framework. Any attempt by the government to act alone or to politicize the process is a betrayal not only of the agreement, but of the people of Sierra Leone who place their hope in this new dawn of unity. We are not opposed to progress. We are opposed to pretense. We are not rejecting reform. We are rejecting manipulation. The APC will not sit idly by while the principles of the agreement are quietly eroded through unilateral action and selective implementation. We therefore call for an immediate commitment to the joint mechanism of implementation, ensuring that both parties are equally represented and that the monitoring and evaluation process is open for the as a party, we are ready to play our part responsibly. We have begun internal consultations to align our structures with the recommendations of the tripartite committee. We are training our regional and district leaders to understand the reform and to participate constructively in their application. We will continue to engage civil society, the media, and our development partners to ensure that the implementation process remains anchored in truth, fairness, and the rule of law. We must remember that this agreement is not about who governs today, but about how Sierra Leone will be governed tomorrow. It is about the credibility of our elections, the integrity of our institutions, and the unity of our people. If the government believes it can carry out reforms in isolation and still claims to be implementing a national unity agenda, it deceives itself and the nation. True unity cannot be built on exclusion. True reform cannot emerge dialogue and reform. We will not compromise on accountability, transparency, and mutual respect. We will continue to engage the BARANTA, ECOWAS, the African Union, and the United Nations to ensure that the true essence of the agreement for national unity is protected and delivered in full. Sierra Leone deserves better. Our people deserve a process that unites rather than divides, that reforms rather than recycles, that honor commitment rather than manipulate them. Let us return to the spirit of the handshake that gave back to this agreement, not as adversaries seeking advantage, but as patriots seeking the survival and progress of our beloved country. The All People's Congress will continue to stand for what is right, not merely for what is convenient. We will continue to speak truth to power, not for political gain, but for the preservation of our democracy. May God guide our nation and strengthen every heart that believes in the promise of a better Sierra Leone. Thank you, and with peace and fairness prevail over partisanship and deceit. Delivered by the acting National Chairman. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Chair. Just heard from acting chairman. During the course of this press conference, we will hear more from those who have been charged with the responsibility by the party to oversee the implementation of the tripartite recommendation as well as the agreement for national unity. For we at the party and for the general public, a couple of weeks ago, the party put together a team because we don't see the implementation of the recommendations of the tripartite committee, the report, and the agreement for national unity be not disclosed. We not be get a representation or push the things that we stand for and believe in. Because we the only now get a single chair, we just be push the agenda of the government. And then the committee, the steering committee, they have it in the meet. So the party put together a team of experts where they look at the various aspects of the implementation. The one way they look at the legal aspects, the one way they look at the parliamentary aspects, the one way they serve at the steering committee for bringing their experience and expertise. The one that will also participate in putting together the report. They all form part of this team. We headed by Dr. Kefala Mara. The team comprised of Dr. Mara himself, Honorable Chairman Ramadan Majuba, Mr. Joseph Fitzgerald Kamara Esquire, Honorable Chairman Ramadan Majuba Esquire. Dr. Richard Conte, Amami Petito Kuruma, David Fona. But of course, if I recall, we will also get Mayor Ivana Pisoya, Mayor Lamte, McKinney, as well as Honorable Abdulkabo, we have already been at the steering committee. So that's fully involved. So we'll hear from them. But of course, for now, for updates and the engagements that we don't happen so far since we put this team together, we will now hear from WIO Chief Negotiator, Queen and Dr. Kefala Mara. Over to you, Dr.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, CD Jonas, Acting Chairman of the mighty APC, National Secretary General, Chief Lantana Dupuya Esquire, members of the National Executive, now heads of all agencies. I want to stand on the protocol with Secretary General and the national chairman got already established, so that I will go on with this. As the National General, the National Publicity Secretary already stated, they don't shout to now the members of that particular committee will for ensure that we work with government for implement all electoral reforms so that the 2020 election will be free, fair and credible. When they put that thing together, we start to work immediately. But before saying anything, I want you to allow me to tell thank you to the leadership of the party for put that confidence in me for lead this particular initiative. We also want to say thank you to other members of the party who get people away and flag their aspirants, the three sets where they on the committee, we set the feed into the local they do. The brothers down there at the Macaulay window already started. We get others who will join me as well. We then set the contribute to the local they do. We encourage everybody for joining me. But as chief negotiator, before I drill down to the key details, I want you in a short background. As the national chairman said, acting chairman said, we can get the agreement for national unity after the 2023 election, so the whole world says we're not right. We'll go for that to come up with the agreement for national unity. That agreement for national unity will get plenty elements. 8 resolutions. Resolution 3 being established tripartite committee. We will look at all elections issues. Me and some members on this new committee will also be part of that tripartite committee. We come up with 8 recommendations plus 4 than at 84. But the recommendations are so important to we. And I tell on why. Because the resolutions, but then 84 recommendations, if we handle them well, if we the APC push strongly, we'll get good elections in 2020. But as we acting national chairman say, by the way things stand, they don't manipulate, and they keep here and there, actions they waiting for don't do now, then they delay them. Then they repeat the same action they may repeat before 2023. That is why when the leadership put this team together, we know delay, we go into action straight. We do the assessment of the current state of affairs as far as the implementation of the electoral reforms and concern. We didn't deem and say that they will start. Not take stock, make we know self-pay. Because if we don't take stock for self-pay, then we will just go here and there. And the leadership advice, after we don't present the assessment report to them, that the next step is for engage the party membership. Let the grassroots know what will happen. Let people understand who self-pay on all the reforms they are. You go see the chief negotiator of government, they say we don't implement 78 or 80-something% of this. It's a lie. I'm not to say it. Just because somebody starts something, you know, we talk say you don't implement. Play it in the way they do where you're wrong. This afternoon, the members of the team, each of them, and will key thematic areas to present to me, make you know what are the current status of the implementation of the tripartite committee recommendation. The moderator will call each, and will talk about the things and where they happen in the South Day. But before I hand over this mic, I get few words for say. If we've been asleep as a party, Lord, wake up, Lord, open your eyes. I will repeat that. If you've been asleep, Lord, wake up and open your eyes. The man, they don't go far for 2028 election. I will repeat that, they don't go far. They don't go far. And you will see the block, you just go here and there, and they turn against party members. Stop. You will not be former official, will be served under President Annette by Roman government, where she don't now come back and join with Lord this way. I see former councillors and I see former MPs, I see district chairman Sidon, Pamete, and many others. Lord, we all come out of the trench to make we help this party. We get plenty things wrong. So, not 10 years, no 10 years, no this. According to the law of this country, and them man they don't already talk, say, then they win again. I hope you not get me. Make you not see those talk to so get the numbers, we don't manage that. Then my other for realize that the APC not they take the mess anymore. We not agree. It's not possible. As I always say, coalitions how they say now they come. These few words, the team there then get all the details. Each go share with you shall be as far as the implementation concerned. Me not talk about that. The duty and responsibility and for just give na this overview. As chief negotiator, I can invite everybody. If you get knowledge, you get know how to do it. Any side they join with. And we're happy that the members of parliament they're ready for war with we. Because all the things away they get for pass, some they are legal, some they are constitutional, and they for conduct on. They're going to go through parliament. So if we MPs and stand strong as they don't promise, it meant that the APC will do well. And so we the party members and the one day way not there where they listen. It no matter which political party you belong. But as long as you want a very good country, this is the time for open our eye and support the initiative of the push. If we not stand up, if we not do the right thing, if we not say no, then 2028 election, look at the Goyanga. We know the hider. But who are they on this team? Me and we colleague them. We don't give assurances to the leadership for say the group utmost. That is why when they do the responsibility will not delay, we do assessment one time. And today in the morning we shout now how far we don't go and which time we're going to stop out. On this note, I want to thank you for your attention and pass on again to the audience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mara. I know say we are determined to do this work, but I want to assure you say as a party we equally determined to make sure say we win the 2028 elections and we get for winner. Gladly, when we get a good number of the party structures here, including with brothers and comrades and sisters from the diaspora. I see Chairman Meke, who is the chair of the East District and also chairman of the coalition of chairmen. They are with me. I see Chairman Tamsela from Cambia District. I see Chairman Manga from West. I see the regional secretary for South, Comrade Legacy Sanko, and also the organizing secretary for South. I see the district PRO for Poloko District, Comrade Omega. I see Comrade Abidarami from the USA, there. I see Comrade Bundu from the USA. I see the Diaspora Vice Chairman, Comrade Noah Kabia, when are one of the people away, the one hand Kumbupa. But under the agreement for national unity, we ensure say, as we always say, in the innocent, we ensure say we prove the innocence, and we are happy that we comrade here with we today, Comrade Noah Kabia. I see we get Comrade Kebi Toure inside here with me from the APC USA, and we Vice Chairman. Currently, now the acting chairman, because the chairman want to be flag bearer. So now they act now. As we go further, I go to introduce more people, but how Dr. don't set the pace, we don't want to lose track of why we're really there. Like I been stated earlier, the mayor of Freetown municipality, they already in at the steering committee. And because that steering committee, they not be the function as high for the function, the mayor not sit down. Now the first person who shoots the chief minister letter, when are the chief negotiator for government say, oh, this committee not the function. And if we not change the ways, I don't see any reason why for the ways to tell, and they left this committee and go back and report to the party and the international community say this committee not the function. But it's in a letter no more. Today we get the mayor for really explain to we how dysfunctional that steering committee they be. I will not go waste any more time for hearing from Mayor Yvonne Akisoya. Make you talk to you.
Thank you very much, Chair. Acting Chairman of the Great Party, National Secretary General, colleagues and comrades all. As we publicity secretary don't say, me a member of the committee, the steering committee, where they set up for this tripartite. But before we talk about how the steering committee operates, the first thing we need to understand, now say the process where starts all of this tripartite, now process were initiated by the APC. If we know we say, we the elected officials, not the go woke, tripartite not before be. So that because of APC, now make tripartite be. And if we go into a tripartite recommendation process, and we get 7 people now each of the committees, when you come for do the steering committee, when for oversee the implementation, you will expect say APC or they in equal numbers, but not so it be. Then do a committee of 20 people, of which they put 3 representatives of the APC. And in fact, they don't say we are representatives of the APC. They say they want the mayor of Freetown as one of the 2 biggest cities. They say they want the mayor of Makeni, and then they want the leader of parliament. They actually left the APC out of the structure. So that's the first thing we for basically begin understand waiting at the mindset behind this. So you don't do that one day. But the one day will be sit down for that 6 months and develop the recommendations. They will be left at the recommendations. They will take their time and then do a roadmap for how this recommendation will be implemented. Then do a terms of reference also be developed for this steering committee. Then develop terms of reference where we able to see. But what will happen with the terms of reference? Some of the major things then. Number 1, they say the steering committee for meets bi-weekly, then every 2 weeks for the first 6 months in OB. They say the steering committee forget subcommittees because you get a committee of 20 people, not all man go able to sit down and talk all things. You forget a small committee so you can dive into issues then when I really look into them. They say the steering committee go able engage with media and stakeholders. They say the steering committee, and this one's very, very important. They say the steering committee will interact with the MDAs and the constitutional review process. Waiting happened. Even Leone membership of the steering committee not come to my knowledge until after the third meeting. At that point then, in 2024, I joined a meeting in October, a meeting in December, and I can tell you, say, that meeting, they did not last reach 1 hour. Inside this 2025, now 3 meetings don't hold for this steering committee we created for oversee the implementation of the recommendations. Meet in March, meet in May, and meet in September. This steering committee who said we not get agenda. This steering committee who said we not one day get minutes. This steering committee who said they not provide any documents. When the meeting you hold, if you get presentation from ECSL, sometimes for something way now very, very, very detailed, they will tell them, so like 5 minutes, talk quick. And bring all of this to your attention because we need to understand the sentiment. As my comrade Dr. Narado said, when posting on one something work, you see them. And the way how the steering committee operates, na strong message to we say they don't want to let this thing work. The steering committee, they in name only. According to the TOR, the steering committee will be responsible for the recruitment of the secretariat. But now when they don't recruit Golo Kata as a coordinator, now we see in the post on social media. Now so we the committee members, they take no say we don't get a coordinator. So with all of that, as PS Tunis says, I write a letter to the Chief Minister dated the 8th of August, and I raised their concerns there in a meeting in September. I don't raise just the concerns about the function of the committee. I raise the concerns saying, if the committee not the function, important thing they go there, when people they are in go day pan. One specific example, or in fact 2 specific examples that we are raised. One, now with regards to the redistricting. I believe say everybody knows say as Freetown City Council, we don't really stand and challenge the logic and the appropriateness of dividing Freetown. But not of Freetown no more get redistricting. I believe say we all know say government don't talk about for create 2 new districts. One name way Pangoma and unfortunately, why that's important? Because when you get a chance for look the recommendations in detail, you go realize say one recommendation day, when a recommendation 53, we talk say first them, for let we not get no runoff. Now for let you get 55% of the vote. But that recommendation, it comes with an important change, where if you read waiting at the summary when the Ministry of Information puts out, it's different to waiting there inside the recommendation. Waiting there inside the recommendation. Now it's saying, for let you not get runoff, the party for win, or the presidential candidate for win, with 50, not to 55 again, 50% of the vote plus 1 vote. But guess inside the catch there? It say you forget at least 25% of the votes in at least half the districts of the country. Today as we stand, Sierra Leone gets 16 districts. And if SLPP want pull chest, snap chest, and say, yeah, now it's stronghold. Of those 16 districts, now 7, they go can't say, and the one when I cannot, so they will be so. But let me just say for argument's sake, 7. 7 out of 16 will mean say that 25% of over 50% of the district, then I will get that also, because 7 not to 50% of 16. But if you add 2 new districts, when people they not tap that impact their day, if you sabi that and the Juma Panguma place, you go to more than. So if you add 2, automatically you don't go from 16 districts to 18 districts. Waiting a half of 18, now 9. Waiting at 7 plus 2, now 9. So if we not able to get the opportunity for look into waiting to go on, then we try for make the steering committee be non-functional. So that the important thing they have to go be glossed over. But we never go for allow them. Day like today, we don't sit on here and we eye open at mountain fast foods. We APC, if the steering committee no one function, but we push through the chief negotiator, let the right thing be done. Naming as we say, you don't write to the to the counterparts. But we also as a party don't write, I believe say the chairman and the secretary don't talk, we don't write to the moral guarantor. But waiting, I believe that the call to it all, as Doc been say, Comrade Mara been say, this is that time for let we keep with eyes on the ball. If steering committee, they want kill them. Not to steering committee now we only platform. We go use the media. We go use public pressure. We are one old political party, and we are the biggest political party in this country. We don't go sit on a yard. We don't go sit on a yard. We not even understand. But I go end on this note. The steering committee, new role now to explain to the House, to explain to the general public, and I have done it in the past. I don't do them in writing. I don't do them at the very steering committee we will hold in September. But we will talk them again. The steering committee, na dysfunctional committee will not be operate. Na committee in name only and not in substance. And the APC, as we go hearing from all waiting other speakers and don't say, yeah, we don't draw the line. Una, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. We don't draw the line. And this line we don't draw, it requires we all, as comrades, for let we come together and work out a straight line to State House. It means we all for be united. It means we all for be committed. We all for ready for make the sacrifices. We will run for offices, not for see we comrades them as enemy. That compete with the compete. At the end of the day, now one person get for win. Not start for the cause we comrade now because we feel say you want hold the position where you get. If you get on tomorrow, you will need in support. So we for know that one day, we strategy for beat SLP. And whoever occupy them offices and our APC, we all for able for support them at every level. From ward level, to constituency level, to district level, to region, to national. We also mean say, we for put people in their offices the way they will do the work. Now we struggle as executive because Bokuman take work, they know they do it. Bokuman take work, they know they do it. We for notice our day and make sure say we put the right people in the right offices where they will do the work, we're ready for do the work, and we want for do the work. If I don't reach there, I want for just at this moment now call on the next speaker. We of course people like Isidon and Connor say the APC not the work. The party leadership they approach 2028 in a structured manner. We focus until then where we know say if we address them now, we will be able for position we serve for win the 2028 election. The party will not set up committees, and one of such committees are the census committee. We already, as we speak, the committee they at work all across this country with they monitor the cartographic mapping where they go on now. This time not to like 2021 or this other census, anytime they bring that already. We they make sure they count everybody and we they make sure we monitor every process. But for we know more about the deliberate postponement or deferment of the census, the decennial census, because we constitution say census for happen every 10 years. And the last time we will do census in this country in 2015. Not to that in 2020 something, that in 2021 midterm census. So the next step we census will happen it will be this year 2025. But we see government postpone to 2026. That self will not know it. But for now we hear more about that day, we will bring the chairman of the census committee, Comrade Logus Koroma, for make you talk to me on that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Acting Chairman of the party, our National Secretary General, flag bearer aspirants, our former leader in Parliament, our Mayor of Freetown, members of the diaspora, my former constituency, national officers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I will stand on existing protocols and ask the moderator and the chairman for allow me to read a prepared statement, because census is loaded with technical issues and we want to let the message go out to the press and to the public. So I will read this prepared statement. Comrades all, I want to first of all thank the leadership of the APC party, especially our acting chairman, Ambassador Alhaji Usman Fode Yansene, for establishing in a timely manner a census technical committee to oversee and coordinate all party-related engagements in all stages of the census process, and for inviting the committee to deliver a statement on the nexus of the census and the tripartite recommendations, particularly in relation to electoral matters. I am sure that this decision was partly informed by the outcome of the now internationally discredited 2021 midterm census. To us, the establishment of this committee is very timely and indicative of the party's commitment to address national issues through credible data on population characteristics, housing conditions, and socio-economic trends in order to foster social service delivery and enhance the livelihoods of our people, and less so for political gains. It is important to note that the population and housing census provide a huge source of reliable data, which is not only used for development planning and service delivery, but also more importantly for political representation at national and sub-national levels, which is very crucial for the APC party. Census data is used to calculate population quotas for the delineation of constituencies and wards, which determines the number of representatives in parliament and local councils from specific jurisdictions at a given time. The importance of census data cannot be overemphasized, given its implications on the recommendations of the tripartite report. 2. Milestones. Since the inauguration of the committee in March 2025, we have successfully achieved the following milestones: radio and TV engagements on the political implications of postponing the census enumeration by 1 year from December 2025 to December 2026, thereby rendering the use of the term decennial census inappropriate. These initial engagements have been so exciting and have largely exposed the weaknesses and inadequacies of Statistics Sierra Leone in conducting the census, as well as the implications on the political calendar as it relates to elections and other development agendas. 2, held a well-attended press conference last May on the postponement of the 2025 population and housing census, to which our development partners were in attendance. 3, we facilitated a fruitful meeting between the chairman of Statistics Sierra Leone and the national deputy chairman of the APC party at party headquarters. 4, we obtained from Statistics Sierra Leone the opportunity to observe all census activities until December 2026, including the cartographic mapping exercise, which is now in progress. 5, we conducted a national training of observers and monitors and deployed same nationwide to monitor the ongoing cartographic mapping exercise and subsequently enumeration program. 6, cascading the training and installation of the reported template at regional level. B, impact. The committee has made a tremendous impact in the following way. There is now growing awareness all over the country about the importance of a credible population and housing census among party stakeholders, including flag bearer aspirants, our regional and district chairmen, our women, our youths, our veterans, and party structures all over the country. The APC party census education has improved at national level to promote participation in the 2026 census as against the 2021 midterm census, which we outrightly rejected for good reasons. Due to our robust involvement, Statistics Sierra Leone going forward has now included our district stakeholders, including paramount chiefs, parliamentarians, and local council authorities, to nominate certain field staff to be recruited to carry out crucial activities in the census process. We recognize and thank them for that. 4, the nexus between the census process and outcomes and the recommendations of the tripartite committee. The recommendations of the tripartite committee have a bearing on the census process and outcomes that might affect some key electoral activities. Recommendation 38B of the tripartite agreement stipulated that the proviso to section 38.5 should be inserted to read that where the final report of a decennial census is published at or less than 24 months before a general election, the data collected from that census should not be used for purposes of delimiting boundaries for use at that general election. This recommendation has serious implications on the calendar of activities for the 2028 election in the event that the census is postponed, as has happened in this case. The recommendation fell short of what measures could be adopted if the census is postponed for valid reasons, as in the case of 2014 census, which was postponed to 2015 due to the Ebola outbreak in the country. For this postponement, there is no reason other than political. It is clear that the government used the shortcoming of recommendation 38B to delay the proclamation and 6 months later announced a postponement of the 2025 decennial census to less than 24 months before the actual count. In our view and calculation, this was done in bad faith and deliberately to affect the timing for preparatory activities. This was a calculated ploy, knowing that if the proclamation was delayed, there will not be enough time to carry out preparatory activities, and hence the possibility of postponing the census enumeration to 2026 and thereby delaying the release of results to 2027, which will be less than 24 months before elections. For the 2014 census, the presidential proclamation was done in 2012 to give enough time for preparatory activities before the actual count and to release results early enough to undertake electoral activities that require census data, such as constituency boundary delimitation and recommendations. In the absence of the final 2026 census data, less than 24 months before the election, the following is recommended. 1. Use the projected population figures from the 2015 census to carry out constituency boundary delimitation. For the 2012 elections, the 2004 population figures were used to update constituency boundaries. 2. If the duration of the constituency boundary delimitation for the 2028 elections is 1 year, use the provisional results of 2026 census that will be released in March 2027 to carry out boundary demarcation. 3. Include these recommendations in 38B of the tripartite report and promulgate same in draft legislation to Parliament. 4. Apply the provisions of 38B, particularly the 24-month census data usage requirement in its present form to the 2033 elections and not the 2028 elections. Conclusion. I would like to conclude this statement by assuring you of our commitment in ensuring that the objectives of the party in established census committee are fully achieved. However, this commitment requires the full cooperation of the party leadership in providing the necessary support needed to carry out its extensive work, which covers the entire country in the next 2 years until December 2026 census and post-enumeration activities, which will go into 2027. Finally, let me state without hesitation that a credible census will confirm that the APC is the majority party in Sierra Leone, and that Kenema is not and will never be more populated than the capital city, Freetown. We will continuously communicate, educate, and advocate with our party and our people to own the census. We will leverage the success of the census activities for victory in the 2028 presidential and parliamentary elections. I thank you all for your attention.
Thank you very much. I mean, one good thing say, if you get two cities, one more populated than the other, the one way more populated, I think you go on for divide into several cities. And left you are more populated. So I don't know why Kenema more populated, but we don't want to divide Kenema into two. But we want to divide Freetown City way less populated into two. Into three for that matter. But anyway, thank you very much, Comrade Logos. Members of the press, by the way, when I go get opportunity for ask questions. I hope so when I take notes. This is a very well packed press conference. And we get, you know, real meat
we get stakeholders, we get experts in this room. I see my co-actors at the room, Comrade Minkailu Kurma, Comrade AKK Esquire, we don't be dreaming at the media lately. I see co-actors because now we stay at the movie where they play yesterday. I see the chairman of Carrier District, Comrade Dr. Adikani. I see with next topic, we will hear from the leader at the House of Parliament. We get a very important recommendation at the tripartite committee, with our recommendation 20. We will feel say if we implement that recommendation, it will help you a lot to address some of the ills that they happen at the ECSL. But of course, we see inside they drag them foot for implement that particular recommendation there. We were hearing from the leader at the House of Parliament. I want to welcome Honorable Abukabo, and I also want to recognize the members of Parliament where they are. I see quite a few of them. I see Honorable Aminata, where I see, I not be ever noticing I see a good papier. I see you walk over somebody at the media this Sunday. I was like, wow, very eloquent and very systematic. I see a female version of CDI. Very well composed. I see Honorable Mariama, this there. I see Honorable Peter Yomba. I see him. I see Honorable Alpha Ben Mansari, the only MPO again at the south. But I know go be soon. I make they address all the excesses they are. I want to welcome the leader now for make the statement.
I want to any other speakers there. Thank you for the opportunity. And I will also say, yesterday we get Flavia aspirant at the Macaulay. We get the regional chairman for the list, Maya Kaikai, the Leone Parliament to tweet, and they're able to assess the debate between with MPs and the SSP MPs. And I was so happy when I get the reaction and the commendation that we have a very strong team. Similarly, one for inform this house in a meeting where we get, I don't constitute a parliamentary committee where I can look at all the reforms there, both statutory and constitutional reforms there. And that committee there, now my deputy Honorable Daniel Brahma Koman and the chair, and the deputy too, when I'm Honorable Aruna Koma, and I'm the deputy chair of the committee. And I give them a mandate of 1 week. 1 week they will present a report when we say we can share with the party. Now, let me go into the creation of the committee, the standing committee in our parliament, where for oversee elections management bodies. This committee now for review all elections related matters. Waiting and aiming. The committee now information say they inquire into the preparedness of ECSL. Waiting at the things that we don't put in place for ensure say the election hold successfully. The committee now info guide the legislative reforms that reforms that we have to go with in parliament. But this committee from where Mr. Matai's recommendation come out, we not form that committee yet. Personally, I have done a letter to the Speaker of Parliament urging him about the importance of the committee in as much as we look at elections reform. I have also heard with the leader of government business for see how best we can expedite the composition of that committee. But today, I want to seize this opportunity for fast. I would want expeditiously, very fast. I want to look at the 13 key constitutional amendments where they want to take in a parliament. And let me tell this gathering, say, for let SLP be able to change anything in our constitution, they're supposed to get 2/3 of all members of parliament. And according to the current composition of parliament, even without the 2 MPs there who will not get control over, they need other 2 MPs back from the side for let them get that 2/3. So without the 2/3, if they do anything to the constitution, it's illegal. And a day we expect the party for joining a parliament so that in an event they go against the national constitution, the party said will suggest a political action. The first amendment where they want to the constitution, now that they want to amend section 32 of the constitution. They want to ensure say they change the name of Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone to National Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone. They want to add national before Electoral Commissioner. Then the second amendment, now how they appoint the Chief Electoral Commissioner. Previously, now President they make the appointment in subsection 3 of section 32. Now, they want to amend them for let them get a committee. Then call this committee Search and Nomination Committee. The Search and Nomination Committee, they get 9 people there. Inside the 9 people there, they get 1 from the Interreligious Council, they get 1 from the Sierra Leone Bar Association, they get 1 from civil societies, they get 1 from the Labour Congress, they get 1 from the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, they get 1 from the women's organizations, then you get 1 from the youth organization. All who that qualify, they send the application to this committee. This committee, they vet them all. And this committee, they end up with 3 people left who qualify. Then 3 people left, now the names, and they submit to president. For let president choose 1 among the 3, who will be the Chief Electoral Commissioner. That's now after they don't amend subsection 3 of section 32. And also, we get the same process for the appointment of the PPRC boss. We all know say PPRC, now that they register and regulate the activities of the PPRC. So we expect the role of the PPRC for the independent. So now the same formation that they use for amend section 34 of the National Constitution for choose Uda for be the head of PPRC, just like the same form, the DCSM. Then the fourth one, the one you name PPRC. Instead of PPRC, we have Political Parties Regulation Commission. Now they want to become Political Parties Regulation and Registration Commission. Registration and Regulation Commission. So it will be PPIIC instead of PPIC. And the fifth one, they want to amend section 35. Within section 35, how they want to amend that? They want to amend that for ensure say any political party will contest two consecutive elections, and they not ever get member of parliament seat, they not ever get councillor seat, then for deregister that party day. Then for pull and say not to a political party. I will make the submissions then, and at the end of the day, we get a legal person where we can analyze the submissions they are make, and where we can also advise the party from an informed legal position. And the other amendment, now that they want to amend subsection 2 of section 35, so that any appointment or election will reflect 30% of female representation. Of course, we in the APC, we may not do that amendment in the long term of the Constitution. So I shall say that from we the taker. Then the other amendments were very critical and crucial, and where we will also need the legal expert for ensure he analyze. Now, the amendment of section 38 of the Constitution. They want to amend them for let it look like say now only data whether they use now the 10-year census neither for use for election purposes. Remember say we family use 5-year data for election purposes where they get that midterm census. Now they want to amend them for let it read like say now only data where they use during the 10-month exercise for the use, the 10 years exercise for the use for electioneering process. But it not stop there. They say this data after 24 months to election, if they not use them, they're not for use them again. This is similar to raising may or may analyze just now. That if they don't do census and that census data day, then we don't conclude that census day 2 years before ever they're able to use them for elections. And we see outside government use the excuse of not prepared for let them shift the census date so that they not go reach 2 years to election. So also the party therefore ensure say they take note of that name. And the other constitutional amendment, they want to amend section 41B and section 42(1). They want to amend them for being right, because currently one of the eligibility criteria for let you contest for presidency now that you must belong to a political party. So they want to amend this section for allow independent candidates for contest the national elections. And we all know the implications, but I will leave them for the legal people left. Then also, they want to amend section 42(2). 42(2) talk about FUDA for be president. So they want to amend them. They want to put a clause for sure say for let you become president, you forget 50% plus 1, more than 50% for let you become president. And according to them, even in a situation where you get 50% plus, you for able to secure 25% of votes in half of the total number of districts they will get in the country. So without which, you know they become president. And the next amendment, now that they adjust the time from the first election to the runoff. This na 42 2F or so, yes. They want to amend the constitution now for let them allow people them for go to court if they get problem with the first round, or for let them able to resolve the matter if they get problem with the first round. So in the current constitution, now 14 days daily. But then the proposal now that they for increase to 30 days from the first round to the second round. And also they want to amend the constitution for let also we challenge the validity of the result when they announce. Then there are subsection 3 of section 42, 9 they want to amend. And waiting at this amendment, where they want to. They want to assure say any person where they elect to the office of president under this section for all an office where they commence the date where they swear in the president. And also for continue for all the office till the next duly elected president is sworn in. So meaning that they say after the elections, if we don't get president elect, that president elect for keeping peace first until the swearing-in ceremony before the sitting president, the outgoing president, will leave in office. And then say, who side the national returning officer don't declare a candidate elected for the office of the president. And immediately they send the declaration to the Chief Justice. They will send them to the Chief Justice and the incumbent president. So when the Chief Electoral Commissioner, when the national returning officer, don't declare any candidate president, it will send the declaration to the Chief Justice, and it will send the declaration also to the sitting president. And then say within 7 days of that declaration, the same national returning officer, it calls the result of the election for let them publish an at the Gazette. So 7 days after it don't make the announcement, then for publish an at the Gazette. And on the official website also of the Electoral Commission. And for distribute all registered political parties, forget a copy, whether they ship to all registered political parties. And then say, if possible petition, now Supreme Court. The Supreme Court for hear the petition and determine the petition within 21 days of filing. And the decision will be final and binding within the Supreme Court say. It will be final and binding. Not like when you 5 cases and the little way out there is the take time for let them decide on that. And the amendment also where they want to do now that if the declaration they don't confirm it, the Chief Justice will notify the national returning officer and the president-elect for be sworn in within 7 days. What did they try for say? If you don't take your case na court, now that make after the election, they're not able to swear in immediately. Then they ensure say they give time for let them file in petition na court. After the court don't rule on the petition, and they don't serve the ruling to the Chief Justice, the Chief Justice they notify the national returning officer and the president-elect within 7 days of that ruling. Say it will take an oath of office. Then if a fresh election is ordered, in the case outside the court say this petition will not cancel invalid. And because this petition valid, we forget fresh election. The electoral commissioner, the electoral commission, they conduct election within 60 days when the court takes a decision. So two situations. The first situation, now that if they say yes, your petition not valid, they don't rule against your petition. The Chief Justice, they inform the National Returning Officer, and they inform the person who win the election, say they will swear in between 7 days. But in an event, the court would say this election is null and void, and another election should be conducted, then it will happen within 60 days. They say whenever they declare a candidate president-elect, whether in the first rounds or in the runoff, the same process might go apply. They say during the process, whether they begin the date of the presidential election and whether they end with the swearing-in of the president-elect, the incumbent president now in they exercise only powers as are necessary to ensure a peaceful and orderly transfer, and not when they don't announce the president-elect. The president will become, I tell them, say the swearing-in, they take place after the court cases they all. You understand? So during that 10 days, the president still they act as president, but he get limited powers. He not get the power the way we get before the swearing-in. They say one, if they make initial major appointment, they say one, necessary to appoint and shall not. During that 10 days, the president not make any major appointment again, including appointment to the constitutional offices, public offices, or the judiciary. Once you dey act, once you dey be president, waiting the swearing-in, you no get right for make any appointment. Then two, you no get right for dismiss or remove any holder of public office, except in accordance with the established disciplinary procedure already in progress. And sometimes you will get case, or sometimes they don't set tribunal for you. The tribunal may dey on, they can continue. But after they don't announce the president-elect, the president will be no get right for do all the things they do. They no get right for undertake or authorize any action where they bind the incoming administration. For say, they take this action so that the one way they come, it will come balance and not get the right thing for dictating for happen to the incoming. And also, it not get right for enter or withdraw from any major contract where government will not enter to, international agreement where government will not enter to, or financial commitment where government will not make. It not get right for change that. And it not get say again. Yes. And also, it not get right for take action where they change the status and the structure of public institutions, unless required by law or necessary for let it preserve the national constitution. And also, in order right for confer national honors and awards, in order right for declare a state of war or state of emergency. Any act or decision taken in contravention to them provision they are, it will be null and void to the extent of the inconsistency. Then the last one, now that they want to amend section 53, we also they look at the limitation of the executive powers. They say, then proposal there, this very one, now for amend section 53 of the Constitution, for let them clarify the limited powers of an incumbent president during the transition. In line with the new section, where they get for change, where now subsection 3J of section 42. section 53 of the Constitution, where they amend that, then they insert subsection 6 and subsection 7. Subsection 6 go read like this, say, notwithstanding the general powers wey vested in the president under this section or any other provision of the Constitution, during the period commencing on the date of the presidential elections and ending with the swearing of the president-elect, the incumbent president shall exercise only such power as necessary to ensure a peaceful and orderly transfer of powers. This now proposal them, where they intend for take. I read them because now the constitutional amendments there. We get other legislative amendments there, statutory amendments there. The difference between the constitutional amendment and the statutory amendment, now that the statutory amendment, when they go for go lay on a parliament, you will no one time, you will want annuller, you will want disqualifier. Okay, first, the statutory amendment then, now amendment the way then are all other laws other than the national constitution. Not only national constitution, like for example, the PPRC Act, the Public Elections Act, other laws that now the statutory amendment. The constitution in now a constitutional amendment. So when they go with the statutory instrument for the amendment of any other law other than the constitution, that amendment the you will want another, you will no one time. That is if they amend the Public Elections Act. If they amend the Public Elections Act, they amend the Jury Act, all other acts. You will know one time, now you dey get a vote of 2/3 majority for let you annul and for let you cancel them. But in the case of constitutional amendment, you will want the constitutional amendment for pass. Now you for pull 2/3 majority of the vote. So that means a sharp difference between statutory amendment and constitutional amendment. But interestingly, with the current structure and composition of parliament, for let SLPP get 2/3 majority of all members of parliament, then for A will get 2 more members, quite apart from the 2 other members wey disobey the party. So they talk to the party say, in an event, they wan abuse the law. In an event, they no wan go according to the dictates of the constitution. In an event, they wan act on procedurally. We need the party for join, we in a parliament, for long we take a decision wey go send a very strong message say, no to they get this country. This country belongs to me all. So with that, I want to tell the party plenty thank you for the opportunity. And lastly, I want to make this clear. In the constitution, we get 2 different types of clauses. We get the normal constitutional clauses, then we get entrenched clauses. That's section 41, now entrenched clause. So in an event they want change an entrenched clause, after they don't succeed, forget the 2/3 majority, now parliament, then for also subject them to referendum. When have the whole country for vote in favor before it become law. So in an event an entrenched clause they want change them, they able get the 2/3 in parliament where we believe say they no will get, and they able secure the referendum they no win am, people they reject am, then they will reject the law. And one thing what we don't make for also realize where I want to bring to the attention of the party, we are very critical and crucial. Now the fact say we don't say the referendum, they want jump with all the amendments into one, so that people can vote for one referendum, for one amendment, instead of the specific clauses there. And we take the greatest exception. Not to all clauses the public go against. Some clauses that were subjected to referendum, the public will want them. So therefore, give the public an opportunity for vote in favor of clauses that were then support, and vote against clauses the way they don't support. But you cannot just jump in them and just hand over to the party. I tell you, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Leader. We therefore continue in that same day. But of course, we therefore look at the legality around all of this. We therefore carry a read from the legal man. Of course, we believe we will learn more about the irregularities, the way we feel things surround the constitutional review process, where we see Honorable Abdul touch on some of the recommendations or the amendments, the way they want to the current national constitution will get. But I want quickly to recognize the executive, the national executive, where they are Asif Ali, where they represent the Women's Congress, the National Organizing Secretary for the APC National Women's Congress. We get the National Organizing Secretary from CS Kamara. I see the National Financial Secretary from Usman Jallo. This Sunday, National Publicity Secretary. Of course, Ubidoyeri from the Boston, the National Secretary General, and the Acting National Chairman. I always can say, if the APCD is strong and alive today, after the 2018 election, with all of the things that we will go through, the plenty attempts by the government for killing the party and all its functionaries, in addition to the member of parliament there, if we get any set of group where we will also always be grateful to the members of the APC legal team. They stand for the party, they stand with the party, they defend the party. And court, the many court cases that they bring against me, from the commissions of inquiry to even now, who they are about to appear before the PPRC, the legal team always pay, and they always do forget them now. We see Comrade Adi Macaulay, we have been one of the strong legal men at court. We see Comrade Joseph Isgira Kamara, Africanos, the female lawyers, they all. But of course, for this particular press conference, we don't hear the inputs they don't make already. We heard earlier the chief negotiator make reference to Adi Macaulay in contributions already. But for today, we come for hearing from one of the finest legal minds in this country, and somebody we already got appointed by the party for serve at this committee. They don't be Attorney General and Minister of Justice. They don't be a prosecutor and Israeli Special Court. So when it comes to legality, we're not saying a strong person. But they can't talk to me about the irregularities which surround the current constitutional review process. And no less a person but former ACC boss, former Attorney General and Minister of Justice, and current flag bearer aspirant for the APC, Comrade Joseph Isgira Kamara.
Thank you.
Go on, quiet so. A, B, C. Oh, why? But we don't go APC meeting and let's get the quiet, the kind quiet. When I see serious business over the top. So.
I tell me brother, plenty thank you. I've been talking. They don't talk for the intimate issues. What we all know here. But let me round them up by one sentence. What do all it mean? Them Brian, they don't want to go, but they go go. They don't want to go, but they go go. They don't talk about it. They don't want to go, they go go. At the bottom line, that one. All waiting they go up and don't so. They don't want to go. And we tell them now, we give them message. We know so we don't want to go, but we go go. Then they make fake number. And that's why you know your neighbor. See me ekolo. See me ekolo. And that's why you know your neighbor. See me ekolo. That's why you know your neighbor. See me ekolo. What do you mean? Then they make fake number. If you see them begin make like that again, now we. Now we allow ourselves. We let them sit down and we. Come down for Cataluna say. We will not agree. Now we will look at the constitution. We don't hear all the things they talk. We don't really understand what is in the game plan. The next election, they don't even want to put face. And the difference and the way lawyer they will watch continue to the parliament and they watch out. Who will they see the grabboard? We cite the Benjamin. They don't even put the dates. What you get at the constitution? Not every 5 years will not sabi. Yeah. You know what they want change that now? They say to the next general election. Who said that they did? Nobody know. Let me say the one she don't say when they agree say election they talk and say election next month. Ebo, the one Shinka we then come back by Shinka with their life. We people that when they say APC, and they want to see President Momo, I see President Goma, I see inside Goma, check as Stevens. Don't they shake them at the grave? There's no song on it. When the man there, they sit outside, they sit down, then they look with pain inside the eye. They tell you say next election and next general. Ebo, so me they tell you now open bullet. All these plenty things, now they come round already for war. The belly no meat. Now twin and they say this belly. But you don't see the government want to do? They just want to pull one pig inside the twin, by the twin there. We call SLPP. Now you want to come on and do. Now say a lie, now we grip the boot back. We say don't come on and do. We don't come on and do. We don't see them. Koju. Now don't do so now. So one thing get for me. Let we know who shall we there. You don't know who we know shall you there. But we were there, who shall we say. And we say, they no one go, or they go go. The other thing why they tell nobody is that good. These PPRC theory they want change. Hey, that name is like in the paper. Now for confuse, that's why they also they need Pantap. Not to the name. They want to give PPRC the power for the registered political party. Now the end party gets that one. They want to give PPRC the power for the register APC la put us. Bangba Ode, no put us, Bangba Ode no saki. They want to give PPRC the power for the register APC. And now we go make them the register APC. They don't just sit down, they provoke with small, alala. They're not paying. What should happen in circumstances like that? We do not like say, well, if you want to do big thing like that, go to court, you the PPRC. Go with sworn affidavit, swear say that so this party don't do. And give the party a chance for them to say, no, we not do register with. If the courtman agrees, when they look like any divorce proceedings, they say, okay, we don't hear it. When they give the party 6 months, when they correct themselves. After 6 months, if they come back and the same problem, then so they will go to register. But that's what they want to do. Now, PPRC, they sit down, they sleep, and then they grab, they say, this should not do register. So they make, and they talk to us, we talk to the other people. We honorable. Now, who not gets for Sudan? When blind young man say the stone in a way, must be stone. If you see no, they take that guy law for Keragona Parliament. Now, when you believe say inside that Parliament, tell you what can it. Now, when you believe that. Now, when you believe say inside that Parliament, we don't say you want to go inside common law. And you not go be again. Then no one go, They no one go. And left for Shamu brother they say but we no go green. This them. Nobody know they do register APC. And we give everybody the message. This message to go to everybody. You know APC said as long as you want standing at the front of APC. For long we win the next election, we need agree. We need agree. And I don't know this one. So now we don't sit down. We can't talk about name. Not to PPRC name they care about. And the party they want the register. I will not agree. We come back with your talk about the threshold. I'm not able to talk fine about that. I think may yourself talk about that. What did they not see as APC? If they say 50 plus 1, no election, no they can give, no self-loading, it's happening. But they don't see, say, if they do so, they don't get chance. So they can now win 25% out of almost 8 districts, we forget 25%. He win a federal state, like Nigeria, where you get governor in each country, each state gets your governor. Where for say forget 25% na Bobari, forget 25% na Kenema, you forget 25% na Badajuma, what they want to say no! Not for business that one day. If na 50 plus 1, we are left by 50 plus 1 for everybody. We dey do am, we ready. Because we APC will believe say now get the numbers. This meeting today not to talk about technical research. Now for long people understand what is the politics behind the changes here. The real politics behind the changes here. Me and they can talk paper talk. We have to be prepared, Mr. Chairman. The APC has to be prepared. Yes, sir. We get one program that evening where they talk saying, my man called me, kill him at Masheri. What did that mean? When one worker look the evidence. Now the evidence they show we so that people clear. They don't set the stage for we. Only they claim they with the dance now we on stage. And I tell this one to understand why are we here. When you look again, you will see say if in the constitution where they want change, where election done, where you want challenge the election, that they will get 7 days within which you will challenge. Then within 14 days, because for the result or a ruling, no, within 14 days, we forget a run-up. Now, what they say now? 60 days. 60 days to lose the anger. You don't see that means inside 60 days? We politicians, they will say 7 days now, long term by politics. They make now 60 days, then they sit down. After 60 days, you do say they come back and talk for elections. Who said they don't sit down, they don't play, who don't think they get for play? They no one go, or they go. So all them guys is there to come in here. Yes. Then you know what they plan back? They say the next coming election, now we don't get NIN number. Not the masses. Not Baru. We are not people of the NIN number. Because NIN number, I sell like they sell her now. How much will people able to pay for NIN number? And what do we get in the constitution? Now by voters card, not to so. When we don't get voters card, we for vote. So now they tell you we get NIN number. You know what they want to do? Now we people there. They want to settle child. They don't want no people to go vote. But with the vote, so many tell you that they say, not to laugh at the to know now for create the awareness. The awareness that APC will not sit down. Now we are open. This time, we need a figure. This time, we all will unite. This is the time of unity. I am making a unity call in this party. It is not about JFK. It is not about anybody else. Let me look at the symbol of the APC. That this is not the time when our APC for win. Not to any group, not to any cabal. To any flag bearer, the winner should be APC. If we all lose that, the whole get an eye. We're not going to get a back now because we're not going to need it for that. Now get a back now for that explain why we're not lost. But we're not going to cancel for that again. Because this one, we're not the loser. This one, we're not the loser. And when we sit down, we look at ourselves, Koduma Kodu, the way we need already. If that's what the executive they don't ready. That's what we call it flag bearer. They don't ready this election. From now on, it's up to now. That's set out to the gospel. So, in all of this, change of commission. Now they don't appoint an acting commissioner. Now almost 6 months they go so. It's just the cost. If they hit tax money, it's the cost. Ebo, we don't get commissioner. They don't radiate. They don't radiate. They want them pass the law, then they pay people over with. And when they make that ball, now parliament they go to the back. How many of them can go there? That ball they seize the parliament. Then they seize the parliament. Because the electoral commission is so important. The commissioner is so important. And they sit on the radio, they say that last election, how do I know so they can do this one back? Don't lie. Allah you lie. Allah you lie. Let the neighbor say the next election is us. But what are we going to do? Ladies and gentlemen, let me close with this. That the APC is at the crossroads. We have reached the stage that we must come to the realization that only unity will take us through. Only unity. Nothing but unity. Victory is one word. Those are several words put together. It's one word. And victory can only be interpreted that we are you and I. We believe in one goal in the APC philosophy, the ideology of the APC, that we must be together to win the election. Thank
you very much. You know, APC, a big party, and we know say we will live together, we will unite. That's not the way we will not be able to do. Nobody know the way we will stand now, we will. And so we will be united at all levels. I told them earlier. The one that we want to be flag bearer, they will be united. Therefore they talk to themselves. We separate and they support us before they talk to them. How we see this election, we will be bold. We will be bold, we will be honest, we will be sincere. I go let person, but if I see say you no fit for this office, I will be bold for tell you. Say, I let you for this, we don't go find for you. I feel say go find for that mandate. Lord we support and let it be. So we all go win in the end. We all go win. And that side in a day we day. That kind of bold decision a day, I will for ready for take as a party. Because 2028, 10 years don't go so. Wakuma don't die. Wakuma don't suffer. The people out there, they look to we for lead, and we for able for lead. I don't reach there, we go lead as a party. Me, I know that one day. With chairman, the executive, at all levels, we go lead. And at the end of the day, we will get victory 2028. And like one always JFK talk, and like you know, APC member, you want standing, we wait, for now we not win 2028. We not for encourage our way at all. Because now they look one plenty pass SMPP. Now they look one plenty pass SMPP. We not for encourage our way at all. 2028 now we own and we for take am. Nobody not for Tima before we, whether na APC or na SFP or any other person, we for take am. And that makes some statements they will make will not take our life. They will come back and fire how we for fire. We all know ready. They don't say Lord mellow, we go mellow. But we ready for things state out. In a democratic way, of course, except otherwise. If I don't reach there, I will now call on the next speaker, my household name by this party and the country, a lawyer, a don't be leader now the House of Parliament, a don't be deputy speaker, and now a flag bearer aspirant as well. And the now call on Honorable General BARANTA Juba, Honorable Sherry Koko, who himself are part of this committee the way for making a statement.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. I want to also join others before me to stand on existing protocols because the day don't go. Mr. Acting Chairman and Secretary General, whilst we acknowledge the opportunity we are given to step into the shoes of some other people there and ensure that we help salvage the state of Omusa today, I also want to use this opportunity for commend Dr. Mara, Delpana Mara. They don't provide a very good leadership. They don't do a very good job. They put the team together, and even when other people are not available, they will make themselves available. So I want to thank you. I don't want to repeat most of what they don't say again because we could just pour now. But as sure say, we will not listen to the one before now. They don't tell me who shall we come out, so who shall we do so. What will lead me to the agreement for national unity, we also end up with the tripartite negotiations and the recommendations that we come out in. What's important now? They're not talking in different ways. But if we're not sincere, we're not going to achieve the objectives that we want. For talk is easy, but we will learn for talk true besides for talking. They can always remind me in several quotations, but one key one they say, however brilliant today, you go win games, but you're not going to win championship. You need a good team for winning a championship. If you get 11 Messi, you don't get Xavi or Iniesta, you're not going to win league. So the APC for work as a team. We not for work as individuals and we believe say we shall be past we said. We don't talk about unity from 2018. Almost effort we don't make. For talk, now one team. For take action is different. Anyway, my brother, but I don't tell him say I go make comments before he left. And I get your permission because you are in. They say the MPs. But the MPs, they don't work on their own. They need the support of the party to achieve. Parliament is an institution where they go vote. The numbers. SLPP don't win the last election using the law. So with the DC who said, what they get the impression, like I say, now because the laws they get gaps, now make them win the election. Then they can't see the vote there, they show the results, So how we, the APC, go we say, na law na we challenge. We don't get problem with laws in this country. We get problems with bad decisions. SLPP government introduced the PRU in the last election. They go parliament. Parliament say no. Then first day they arrest MPs. Because there is a parliament don't reject them. Not to come say, here we go. The very judiciary role they say for be independent, when for be fair, when for be neutral. Now they will want to pass over. If we get a bad judiciary, we will get bad governance. So then we know help SLPP forget silence for worker. The Public Elections Act is very, very clear. They say they come to the police stations, men and districts before they send them. They will do that there. So let the APC not support SLPP for justify their wrongs. We never do that. ECSL or NEC, they say they're independent, they're independent, they're independent. Nobody knows say they're not independent. Just like the Auditor General, now an independent office, the person will be the header, now an independent person. They're not on plan. Nobody knows the way independent big past the law. So ECSL they under the laws of Sierra Leone. Who do they pass the law? Not the parliament. Who do they monitor the implementation of the law? Not the parliament. So how ECSL will be past parliament? Not the true. We get plenty country then. Then agree because they practice democracy. From Ghana to Kenya, to the United Kingdom, to India. Because they get democracy, they don't ever tell me say independence, independence. Because they don't want balance. They allocate budget to ECSL. Who do they approve the budget? So if they approve budget to independence, all independence get limits. The judiciary independent, but parliament they oversight the judiciary. So how ECSL go say they don't oversight them? Before we conclude this tripartite process, as a party, we will make sure say we support reset and give parliament the necessary support where they need, so that all the things they work for them, whether they use for hide under, we can pull and complete. The last elections, and we all been increasing the data for commons. Data always a common in this country. Why data not come out 2023? And because we agree. We be not say election not will take place if data not come out. But amongst recent back, some man say data not go by election. Amongst recent. So let we be sincere when we dey talk. If we're not sincere, when they achieve nothing. They don't tell me say we get 80 plus 4 recommendations. But the government they check, we pick what they want. What they benefits them or they believe say go benefit them. I never pick. What's important they left hand. The chairman they say this on the ceremony chairman. He said why they don't go say they go divide Kenema City. They say they get more population past future. Now future they want divide. We not for keep quiet. And those who don't talk no more, one time we set months. Let we media people learn they spend 10 for educate the public. Let we not spend 10 for attack research. We get for you right now. That 10 more we spend for attack research. Let we spend now for promote and push the party go before. But people that they all abate no more, that they use people and name them, and they send different messages. We learn for doing what we supposed to do right now. The elections whether before 2028 and must win. And SLPP knows how they win the election. And we want to make them know say we will take the power. We will win and we will take. When they win, we sit down. This team, before they come, we go down come stop. When they come stop before them, we don't wait for them. So the standing committee, when they did a talk about na parliament, they don't task me and we on committee for how they work with parliament. So that Mr. Bode can report to the committee on the pluses and challenges. We will give them the room for push the other side there. But they also, Mr. Leader tell me this to say, they don't fix timelines on petitions, appeals. As I say, we don't get problems with laws. The Constitution, when they write down 1991, it tells me say for parliamentary petition cases, you for bring and come, and if for done within 4 months. If you appeal, instead for done within 4 months. As only laws you and the Constitution. What in the judiciary do the last step? Not 1 year after they give judgment. They don't give judgment, say May 31, 2019. But the Constitution is very clear. 4 months, appeal 4 months. The appeal and we don't want to now become man of the body. So look at laws and the problems. Now implementation and sincerity. We need a very strong, independent and credible judiciary. Therefore do their work. They're not for be political. If the judiciary is political, then parliament does their work, the executive does their work. Because they're going to say that they do the job for the parliament. With good law on it, or if good law there, best law on it. Because no perfect law on it. You make law today, tomorrow you go see gaps. But the one that way they say, we not use. The government get a responsibility. And that responsibility is make sure say they implement the laws in the correct way. And the judiciary, if the government go wrong, they will call them out. Now my elections will talk about from 2023. No development will not talk about. And the push don't they take over the country. They don't send money. I don't see our government for focus for now. Not to have to manipulate and win elections. Because is not luck. Come have the bread basket of salon. They're not even able to provide bread now for the Kono people. Nobody may talk about that. Nobody. Before that, they think on how to manipulate laws. The people they don't tire and they will resist when they tire. They don't tire. What the government for the talk on now and how to develop the country? How they may not promise bread and water? What did not happen? Let them let their laws here so then we all sit down the last steering committee and do working correct. Not to put in at the back and try to influence them. Let them allow the best things that will happen. Because when the best happens, the country will grow and all man will benefit. When the drugs business happens, we always suffer. Nobody knows suffer by this drug abuse. Nobody. But a very few people they benefit. And I want to show when I say they benefit, it will be short-lived because God said not asleep. So what do you want to say? I want to show when I say we were in the committee will continue to collaborate with the lead negotiator of Sakapana Mara, get the necessary support where it deserves, and make sure that the tasks that when they assigned to work individually, we will follow them to the better. So that eventually the team will come out with the best result what they expect. But as a party, like remind again, let me put the party before. Let me not talk sweet talk no more. Let me be sincere and be honest with yourself. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman. You touched on plenty things that were very important, and I'm glad that we get a huge number of media houses that I have today. Of course, it's important that you touch on the kush. And we will not limit time to kush no more, because we get bigger problem with drugs than just the kush. For the United States list we as a major transshipment hub for drugs and money laundering at the world, as seriously now and they go for take seriously. And we will continue for bring this. Members of the fourth estate, I know say we don't keep Unaya long, but to one follow on patience to three, we almost get to the end. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Secretary General, I want to inform you say we get about 29 media houses in Naya. It's a huge turnout of the press. We get about 29 by the list we submitted to me. And that of course not include WIO media teams there. Strategic, Lelemu, Council of Media Bloggers, that not included. These are press houses, about 29 of them, that are there for cover this press conference. We want to tell you plenty thank you. We will continue for cooperate with you now as soon as they cooperate with we. Thank you very much. We now get one more presentation, and then of course we will hear from the Chief Negotiator, and then the Secretary General will round up. We will hear from the press. We will call on the corner. We will give you a presentation on persistent electoral governance concerns, results management, ballot box integrity, and election security.
On signing, on warning, members of the press, leadership, I want to take this opportunity for tell the party plenty thank you for such a gathering. And under normal circumstances, whilst we represent the party at the tripartite committee, where we co-chair don't talk, we know they talk again. Because the expectation of the committee has always been, if we sit down with the co-chair at the tripartite, that is the platform where we conduct ourselves, we deal with submission, we hand them over to the co-chair, and being a steady-headed leader at the time, if they take the message how we want them. A lot of speakers don't talk, and I want to believe say there is not much where we will say we will be significantly different as far as election concerned. So this afternoon, the message I just want to give now a clue of where we are as a party vis-a-vis the recommendation of the tripartite as well as the agreement for national unity. The party put this committee together owing to the fact that the tripartite recommendation, now recommendation where it be to say whatever we do as a party, we will pay attention to them. But I can tell you now one thing, we're very clear without hesitation that when we began at the tripartite, even before we talk as a committee of the APC, the international partners, they don't talk for we. The local observers, they don't talk for we. All we needed to have done at the time that we ensure say we back the recommendation then where we implement as a country, for then we ensure say we get a national unity.
And their recommendation that they very public. But I can say to now categorically clear or say owing to the steadfastness of the APC committee at the time, we so do due diligence for put their recommendations that they together to an extent that the government they find it now difficult for implement them in the chronological order in which they appear. So therefore, I go see they go left recommendation one. We talk say ECSL for put together policy on consultation because consultation are one of the words the more we get at the tripartite. The president go grab one day and say, I don't choose small, neither the electoral commissioner. When you ask, you say I don't consult, I don't send letters. But at the town I say, ECSL 30 days, they're not giving a clue of that policy. We steering committee member when at the mayor don't tell me the manner in which the tripartite secretariat headed by Golo Kata they operate. They are being subjected to complete darkness. And the member of parliament, we lead in the parliament, just send out some of the recommendations then. I can tell you, I say, the work of this committee now will start by ensuring that even between them, when they not propose, where Honorable Abukabo not talk Naya, then they, now the tripartite recommendation and the spirit of those recommendations, and for them, then translate them into law, for let Parliament either enact them or put them in the national constitution. And that is our work moving on. So we believe, say, this moment, as I stand here, you know, it will be very uneasy for me to explain 84 recommendations to now. To we believe, say, time is of the essence, and we will have to take una leave and go to work. And when we go to work, the members of parliament, the party leadership, quite ready for ensure, say, waiting to make 2028 very successful with one. So on that note, I want to end here and assure una say the committee get for the meeting from time to time and offer to the development the way they take place as far as the next election concerned. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Before the chief negotiator coming, Honorable Chairman touch on one important issue where they are bothering at this country right now, when are the drug issue. We at the party because a big event a couple of days ago for really bring this drug issue at fore. Let me make that topic of discussion across this country. We will hear it briefly from we own lawyer Adi Macaulay Esquire, who will talk small to me on that issue there, and then we will hear it from Dr. Mara and Secretary General.
Before you say anything, yes, one quick thing. I've been talking this afternoon for saying do the work on a particular assignment. We get for you with COI cases, especially on find the way dollars. For the comfort of the party members and for all the way there in the listen, I will to speak to that again.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Acting Chairman. Thank you very much, the Chair of the Tripartite Committee. I want to say thank you to members of the press for coming here this afternoon. I know some I don't there for a very long time when I give you small time. When we talk about the SLPP power, the leading of election infrastructure, not just the ballot box. What did they do heading towards 2023 and for make sure say that they for who court case, put them with people that hate them. Even up to the eve of elections, we will go with Dr. Savoy Kama, we flag their court. And as we go ahead, we still get matters there, we still in a court. I'm glad for telling us say almost 70% of the commissions of inquiry appeals where we find a court of appeal, we win the one that they include in Dr. Marayo. But we also get two categories of cases we still not done it. The first category of cases are cases where the government lost the court filing. Because the government can keep court filing also. If somebody is employed by government for keep court filing or commissions of inquiry files them, if they lost, a government will the hold. And unfortunately, the one the way they prosecute the case about a government they work for. So they don't tie back in for make sure say we people don't get justice. One of the very sad cases now the late Momo Conte in case. Now me and the lawyer will file the commissions of inquiry appeal. They seize 3 of your steps. They don't take 2. In one, I think in all sick mama day, they decide to take that one day back. When the case come up in a court, well, so I find out the case not supposed for the notice so, but what thing the government do is that they dismiss we appeal, meaning say Momo Conte don't lose in property there to the state. Not just Momo Conte, you get quite a few other people left, like the Mahmoud Taiwanis of this world, where they say they lost them by like 6 or 7 cases they wait to fight the women will see them. Then we also get the other category of cases where we don't argue the case. For example, Patso, Honorable Patso in case. I don't argue that appeal for over 2 years now. We wait for judgment, we don't get ahead. And he don't me say no the kaya until that judgment they come out because one for Cap Salon as a man will stand up with integrity. And we also get cases that won't on file at Supreme Court. But over and beyond that, Honorable will talk about the petitions there. And he's right. Even up to the Court of Appeal, when we appeal candidates appeal. Now me I do that appeal name. We say that for Kiwi we write, we can go back to Parliament because the Constitution says 4 months after, if you don't give judgment, you will dismiss that case. Again, even when you appeal go Court of Appeal, if you not give judgment within 4 months again for dismiss that case. And to this day, and I believe say that's now part of the electoral justice, not just 2023, 2028. We go make sure say we wake up that case today and ensure say we get the right judgment to who people deserve. But Honorable Jallo, Honorable Chairman Madiba talk about because say now we plead in our office. Honorable Bar talk about one thing. We talk about the push epidemic. When a lot not allow them, let them take the attention away from the other things and way that pass push. Push 90 poor man who afford. Salon, as CBI actually say, they don't take it as a drug hub. Transshipment of at the watch. Where's Asidona? I will get for confirm that, but there is a news will just come out saying a container will go Nigeria, they spend about 100 kilograms of cocaine when a salon is from water. We will get for confirm that one day. We don't get serious allegations from the Dutch government, and we self-consider evidence day. Like just they say, to pull the matter machine match. The evidence day. We get somebody where the Dutch government was, when they just lie with us. The SLPP government, they call our man sheriff. Whether na woman sheriff or whether na just like with us, so the Dutch and Belgian government don't tell us in a demand that day. And that Monday, we see are very close to people where they high up there in the government also. We see an a church, we see an a farm. And we want to tell the Dutch and Belgian government, and I hope say I get the permission of the chairman and the executive. We the APC, we abhor drug dealing. Because when you think of drug dealing in a country, they subject the youth of this country to drug abuse. And the youth of this country, now them are the future of this country. 60% of the youths are unemployed. But we want to say, and we are saying it very loudly,
the Dutch government, we the APC ready to cooperate with you now for ensure say we bring international fugitives to justice and we protect the bad name of this country. Because President Leone tell me say in a camp for calm and what did he say? In a clean the image of the country. So the way down from Kukuta, they don't see the close side, they don't so. So one for tell you, I tell people the camp on a camp, and I hope so we go regularly and give them a day of here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll not go waste any more time. We'll go hearing. I will pass you back on to the chief negotiator. I mean, the APC will not mix public play business instead. And I mean, we don't bring forward with best midfielders, with best strikers, with best defenders. Everywhere you look now, we saw this. We saw this. We saw this. Now, first team player for some team there. If you look now, we saw this. When you look at Dr. Marai's background, locally and internationally, beside the way don't work. From the United States and the New York Governance Office, the New York Senate, to the Commonwealth, to being the Chief of Staff of the government of Sierra Leone, the first Chief of Staff, by the way, under this current democratic dispensation. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Finance, Bank Governor, somebody will not hold their offices the day, and then you see how they perform now. You know, say the APC will not lack people of substance. When you look at this table, we no more I don't do for change this country for the better. So we for show them people here how we ready for govern and how much we stand for benefits when the APC take back governance. Having said that, I will now bring in Dr. Mara back. Let me summarize all we do already.
Acting Chairman, National Secretary General, and the leadership of the party, I want to join the colleagues for saying and thanking for this opportunity when I do it for share this process. With the close now, I see one with colleague enter, plus there are aspirants enter. I not need to say the moderator of India, Bakalo, Abubakar Kalokodia, draft it just from all US. Thank you, welcome, sir. During this review, we all don't listen to members of the committee. We don't hear it from them, and we don't see and clearly understand how badly the APC stand and the wrong things the government they do for ensure that they take the 2020 election. That is why before I give the summary of the tape, I want to underscore a few things. Whether they are or not, but as long as they get access to what they say are, and you na APC, stand up and work with us. Because people miss this opportunity not good for the party. Then Miami will do nothing. From when they take over 93, can take they do not clean. Say they do not clean.
Yeah, we agree with you, sir. Let's go.
So this exercise, I want to help you all. We all as a party. I get a few observations as the colleagues then they present key things and come up with very important and where we are making all keep at the back of our mind. Number one, the steering committee where they right now, where they function for only the interest of government. That committee they again for be functional and again for take that message they strongly forward for say and therefore open up and ensure that they do the right thing. They cannot do another thing. Number two, the recommendations them go with census committee, within our census committee don't make. Would suggest that the party adopt them one day, adjust the suggestion. And we will also take a position that what the government do for delay the 2026 census, 25 census and take them to 2020. That's where we APC no go be. That's the position we'll get for take. Because the way for manipulating, for creating new districts, that caterpillar and do everything to their advantage, we are saying no. And if you wait sit down and you know APC, you know they now, but they listen to you, they say, we make about God to pay you. The next thing, we warmly welcome the decisions of the leader in our parliament, Honorable Abdul Kago, for set up the technical committee and give them 1 week for ensure that they work alongside we, clearly understand the issues where they, so that we members of parliament will debate with the right information where they need, so that the interest of the party and that of the country will be defended. Not so? We as a party also need to take a position on recommendation 36. Very serious. What we recommend was that we therefore get an appointment committee or a search committee. That committee will be very clear as to who they will constitute that. That committee they will advertise and receive applications for people who want to serve as electoral commissioners and even chair of the PPRs. And that committee they go interview and drop a short list of the successful candidates and hand them over to the president, and from there the president they make decision. For waiting and do then trash that set aside and continue to make appointment of people that will know not to serve the interests of the country when they come to elections. We as a party need to take the decision, we need to take the position on that. That's our humble recommendation as a committee to the leadership of the party. My brother, Honorable Chairman Juba said, sincerity of purpose very important. Like I said earlier, whether you are a former minister of government under President Goma, or you are a former member of parliament, or you are a former head of parastatal, or you are a former ambassador, or any major position you do not ever hold, now is the time to come forward, step forward, and help you. Not to turn this for on my side. And many of them will say not to be business, but now you business because I'm all in the tradition. These are trying times. Now trying times. Now turn this for campaign, we know they do nothing. We commit to time, we dedicate everything to this particular service, for service of the party. You know what it means if you say you don't join the party now, you don't join the process now, you only wait for the dividend 2028. I have a message for you. You are saying, you don't join this force for go McKinney, you can entire Nordic. Entire fire. Instead of the hand me back, me one day work up for go McKinney. Let's go meet, you know, even each other alone. Honestly, we don't accept that. And that is why we therefore they invite people and give them responsibility, make them help me. It's not a big deal. It's heavy. We brought them. Me at the ask to them whether you let members of this committee or not, whether get the preferred flag bearer aspirant or not. I ask you now. That monkey where they jump from tree to tree, never tell him pikin say, hold tight. He say, look down and see the distance. Where she had the hold tight. So I let him dey jump, if you kill all the for them. That's not for now. And thank God we are there in numbers. I just suggest to my colleagues and say, very soon we will get a session with you. Make una really understand the elements we contain in that electoral reforms. If I make una begin talk about that, if I make una begin blog about that, when the wrong things happen, una for take them forward. But every day una dey turn una young pen against una young party, it's not done. So they use the right channel to go talk to the national publicity secretary for make the arrange that session so that we go sit down and engage una and take una to the relevant thing there so that una go report from an informed position. I want to say this. From the way the conversation go, from the setting up of the steering committee to the support secretariat to recommendation 20 where they refuse for set up a standing committee in a parliament to recommendation 36 where they appoint commissioners without going through the process to be recommended to recommendation 38 where they manipulate the census process to recommendation 42 where they refuse forget APC and SFP as co-chairs within the ECSL so that we all will be part of the decision making for electoral reform to recommendation 78 where they don't continue to manipulate the situation such that they don't only, that government, they don't only send the message of what? Saying that the PR system good for this country. The majority of the people in this country don't already vote as a civil society conference and 70.9% people say no, and first past vote. When you take a look at all the they're so serious, I think we will reach a point where we will humbly recommend to the party for making the political action when that time is government. With this, I want to say thank you to members of the team and thank you to some members who are not even mentioned now, but they provide support behind the scenes. Some flag bearer aspirants, some when people that will be not working at ECSL, but they know they will be. So all of them provide that support they will need. One for tell themselves. And tell national assembly, general assembly, because we know the jam, we always do. We chase them up and down. So financially, all those are chance for the parliament don't know how to sit up. The way the civil sit up, we talk. That is our responsibility. I want you to give thank you to the team, every member of the team. I don't always enjoy and support. Thank you, Chief, for that generous comment. The one for telling and thank you. This is our humble submission. Other things, I'm sure, when it's been at the mind of the leadership, when the Secretary General will come in, that pronouncement, that will come up from me. This is the work of the leadership of the party, we will just provide support. So in a humble way, I want to pass the mic on to the National Committee Secretary for the Secretary General for making pronouncement. We don't move, we don't stand this far, we don't understand the challenges. Now it's time for the rest of the leadership to know what's in the next step. Why? This time, we as a committee say, we'll make decisions, we'll go. When the party meets like this, we'll report, trust me, action has to be taken. We'll therefore take action. But it's someone I think to understand in numbers. One day notice, in fact, less than a day, now some people here for this place to work with us. We'll continue for engagement now. Tell us national.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mara, for that brilliant submission. See the regional chairman, Honorable Maya Kaikai. I want to recognize you and welcome you to this press conference. I see the chairman for Northeast Week. Dr. Matia, welcome. As Sunayeri, I will now pass me on to the head of administration, Comrade PO Boss, the National Secretary General, Comrade Lansana Dubuya Esquire, for making tell me the facts in consolidated position, and conclude the press conference as well, so that we go hear from the members of the press with a few questions, and then we will let them.
Today is one of the days where I don't want to talk. But as we all know, there are some duties where I get to perform. A good number of speakers don't talk about unity, and a good number of speakers don't talk about the tripartite committee, the linguistic team, the Kush, and the kind of a way where this government they dwell and scatter this country. Let me not fully say the power union will take up, but we get to work for me because we don't scatter. We get to begin patch. That patch there, we get to give it a long time for the patch. But I want to make a special plea. I know say some of the intended flag bearers they will say anytime when this man they talk to me. Do ya? Now una they intend to take the lead. We want to make una show we say now una the delegates for vote for. Not for talk but who talk. Now for make people that know say you na cyborg. Action speaks louder than voice. We also the beg una to make una also the help the party because una na party people there for challenge some of their issues there. Good number of una they do them. The one that when they do them, we want let una self join. We want unity in the party. The unity that begin with una the intended flag bearers there. And una when they support the flag bearer them can go in camp. Do ya? Una no can go in camp so some flag bearer they go get palava with the copy flag bearer. Una when they na social media focus on behalf of flag bearer them. But we get plenty things to talk about. Against them, this government where they do all kind of nonsense. Like where, I think, I don't know if at the Macquarie or Tunis, where they say, Madam Yomi say, where it come, and they come can clean the country, not so. Well, when they clean clothes, now clean water you go take, now you wash the clothes. But Madam Yomi, support on they go wash the country. And the tripartite committee and the tripartite recommendations them here, let we pay attention to them. And I want to talk to the problem. Then we comrade them when they pass electoral justice. Now Ben no they again. You don't tap for them begin Ben. They don't begin come and come again. We don't patient to now because we don't say we don't act one because we all act one how they lost, how the election go, how they tip up, how man of your tip up, we all act one. But when I don't act, it's like I say, we don't mix up by electoral justice and we don't get misunderstanding and we don't get this party, we don't get them come this far. We don't patient to now. So we don't curse we don't accuse we wrongly on social media. But they are not that thing they try to the party. Not the party you want for the win election. When you want them to do it, to make the party win election.
family. Una say una don't plan say for good casara leave, that casara leave, una don't buy that, una don't make that casara leave. If the casara leave not come up fine because of one person or two people in the family, they're not able to cook the casara leave them burner. So you not probably water it, then you water set chain on it. The water for make you survive. Now the tripartite committee, now the party function, how party was supposed to function. Who know the commission justice? We don't understand how that justice is for be. Una just say no more. They are the una put and day, una come. Let me explain to una. That electoral justice was there. Not to anybody calling about. Now the acting deputy chairman was here. Now I'm calling that word electoral justice. But delegates, people do not go put up on something where two not the plan. Lie, tell. We don't reach that stage. We are going to come up and lie, we are come and do. This is a very difficult time for the party. Some of we can take positions and protect the party. Not to lie. Like what I been tell somebody the other day. I say I don't let pan lawyer business for 27 years. Nobody don't lie by me. I can't teach some more all kind of a lie and they work by you. And I begin to wonder yesterday and they look some speech by Obama. He said he take the presidency when he 47 years. Because of the decisions that we get to make. The kind of when he work, and that responsibility that anger. He said within 2 years, he had rights and he had at 47. Now I begin to remember myself, I say, Amy, and I all think of white soul. I say, oh yes, I'm true the talk. Then I remember back when I said, let me there, when he had all white, people don't understand. The work is a very difficult work. The least you people can do for us is to support us. If you don't understand something, come. We go tell you what you mean. We know then I have to sell the party. We know they have to make any kind of market for the party. We don't make them now, we pass lives there. When we don't go on our responsibility. They will not begin on APC. When I am with a guy for now, with a live for, with a breathe for, with a do everything for. For the district union, the Panguma and Bandajuma, how they Pangumalize and Bandajumalize, then they left and day. When they say Tipini, tap and day. How they don't begin so let them tap and day. Because, let me tell you now, that particular thing there, not only APC number one, even SLP people there, the chiefs them, sub-chiefs them within the community, then they disturb their entire life, the entire community that they disturb them. They are also not happy about that because it is destroying the very fabric of their society. You know they do with this thing when you don't know the actual census data. Let me do the census first. When you come up on the census, then you bring talk down, then we go answer you. But for now, with the Wakuna, that Juma and do our left and post level don't the census. And they release some talk again. Some talk. When they talk, maybe not the ballet. Say Mother Bio say, he not the hand over power to APC. Mother Bio like the hand over power to APC, and the people of this country, now they get to hand over power to APC. Waiting Mother Bio get for do, not ceremonial business. Ceremony get for perform. For say yes, the people of this country, they don't hand over power to you, like you don't win. Now ceremonial business you do. Not only they hand over power to the APC. Not to some people they hand over power to the APC. Now the people of this country, through the ballot box, and then they hand over power to the APC. And as I always say, we always get a constitutional duty. A constitutional duty for all the government accountable.
We get that some people don't know say na a constitutional duty for demonstrate for protest against a government when they bring up an issue. It is a constitutional issue, not a constitutional right. So we dey warn them. We dey warn them. We dey warn them. Almost their talker. They are letting us make we act one. Let we behave like civilized people learn. Let we all go for this election peacefully. APC want to go for this election peacefully. Want to accommodate peacefully. But we are all going to win. If you want to make them like 2023, I'm going to go into mama. You know what people bad, you want people accept that. And nobody will tell you that talking. You do at the last step because of certain circumstances. You go free. Then you want to do it again. But somebody teach you one thing. Then the next time back, you come and teach you. You say collect teach. Then people that also collect teach you. But I want thing to be. So you are Madam USLPP. You don't make that one thing they be. We don't want they be. You don't know behave like Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone now. His Excellency, former President and his back woman, now he go do the ceremonial to give power. But you are then talking and know there. You don't say, now mistake, now lie in the life by you. Me, I mean, the belief say, now lie in the life by you. Then the life by you. But until we don't resolve, say everything we don't do so the tripartite where Brother Nayado undertake as the chief negotiator, and we always plan any team. The entire team. We don't agree, say now, from this stage, we don't reach so, even though we don't approach international community development partners, we will engage them frequently. And one call upon the development partners there. Democracy, not to say, not to just talk no more. We accept that to your role for play. We don't say that we account for you. Hey, in the election that you are, no wait for international community. No wait for international community. If somebody take you 5,000 that you want, who say there before you walk about jump and I am back. And you allow let go. Do you? We all get for be vigilant. We get for be really vigilant. So as a result of that, we go keep on engaging the development partners there. From now on, with a send call to them, we go meet them all one by one or collectively as the case may be, because we get certain set of them working collectively. And then we go brief them and tell them waiting at the party in position this time going forward. And let's say this so now. Even matter when they set out now, because we all know, I think saying self know my own perception towards the presidency. And I don't hate him, not to God, not to the makers. I am just aggrieved because of the way he stole the 2023 election. That is my agreement. I don't want to get against that. I don't hate him, not only make him, but he do something well not correct. But if we get for midterm now, we will tell our opposition. Me, I'm not the one for midterm. But if I get for midterm, tell and say, Paddy, next election, now for mellow down, because if you mistake my problem. If we get for midterm as an executive, me, I'm not afraid. I will tell them that talk. If you want to against me, that very easy. And we will also engage them. We will begin engage with adversaries them. No matter what we think, say them feel, how they perform. Let us have know what's in our mind. Say this time. Now no magamment, we don't take nonsense. If we get to this point, I want to tell you all plenty things. Let we all be steadfast and vigilant for the census when they carry on. Honorable Logos don't tell you now. Somebody called me, Honorable Logos, last week. And they tell me, say, why they come at me also? They're not going to